Hey DCC cooking team, it's Saul. I'm here to cook with you. We're going to be making coconut crab cakes and a potato salad. So let's start with the coconut crab cakes. What you're going to need, I'm going to read off the list of ingredients and you're going to see them all here. Now, we're going to assume that you guys don't have a food processor. However, if you do and you'd like to pulse your own piece of toast, then you're more than welcome to do that. You're going to need 1 slice of bread, which has been shredded for you already. Shredded coconut, 1/4 of a bell pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of cilantro, onion, hoisin sauce, creamed corn, garlic, crab meat, egg, and dried breadcrumbs. We're going to be using 2 types of breadcrumbs, and also don't forget that olive oil. So the first step, we're going to be pulsing that slice of bread in the food processor. So I have my own food processor. Tracy hooked me up with one back when we first started this, so I'm going to be using that. I'm going to maybe shred mine in half, that way it'll fit a little bit better. Just like that. I'm going to put my lid on the food processor. If you are using one of these manual food processors, I want to encourage you to squat while you pulse, and we'll go ahead and give that maybe 10 to 15 pulls. All right, let's take a look. Okay, I'm going to now take this and put it into a bowl. So we should all have our bowl handy. And there you have it. There are the shredded breadcrumbs. And now I'm gonna be, I got my doggy here. Hey Thor, not for you today, buddy, sorry. All right, we're gonna be moving on to step 2. In the food processor, we're gonna be adding 1 TBS, 1 tablespoon of coconut shreddings. So I'm gonna take that coconut, I'm gonna add it in there. I love coconut, so you know what? Shh, don't tell Tracy. She's gonna dump the rest in. Hey, she always gets more than enough because she is awesome like that. All right, now, next, I'm going to be adding my cilantro. So you already have your cilantro, your garlic, and your hoisin sauce already mixed together. So I'm gonna add that in there. Add it all in there. I might need my spoon to help me out. You have your hoisin sauce, you have your cilantro, and you have your garlic all in here. Okay, now I'll make sure I keep the counter nice and clean after I'm done. Very important to clean up after you're done. Okay, the next step after I add all that, I'm going to add a tablespoon of creamed corn. So we have our creamed corn. I'm going to add a tablespoon, so 1 TBS. I'm going to grab that corn. I'm going to dump it on in that food processor. Oh my goodness. You know what's just as good as a food processor though? A bowl that we can mix in with a fork. I'm going to be using the easy way out because I have one. All right, so I'm keeping the food processor in order, and the last step here is adding 4 tablespoons of crab meat to the food processor and then cracking an egg and pulsing the ingredients. So I'm going to take my crab meat, and funnily enough, I think I might have exactly 4 tablespoons, but if you want to go ahead and measure this out, you can. So that's 1. I love crab meat, so I might just dump the rest in. 2, 3, and oh my goodness, would you look at that? 4 tablespoons exactly in the baggie. Oh, Tracy just keeps surprising us over and over again. So let's crack the egg now. So remember, we want to find a sharper surface. Oh, because we're going to use a hard-boiled egg later, so this is a raw egg. See, Tracy just added all the notes that I'm ever gonna need. To let me know that this is rough. So we're gonna need the side of the bowl, or if you have a fork or a knife to bang up against the egg, then you can definitely do that. I think I might need another tap there. And oh, this is a difficult egg to open. There we go. I'm gonna double check, and it looks like I got a shell in there. Darn it. Okay, cut. I can't have an egg in there. And here we go. So I'm gonna wash my hands because I don't want to get raw egg all over everything. Okay, keep this for later. Maybe give my mush a little wipe because I'm doing a lot of talking. Okay, so it is time to mix up all these ingredients, everyone. Smells good already. Again, I'm going to do some squatting, and I'm going to pulse about 10 to 15 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let me see. Oh, that is looking magnificent. And smelling even better. Okay, you know what? I'm going to grab a spoon here, and I'm just going to scrape all of the stuff that got on the lid into the food processor here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put my lid in the sink, but I'm going to remember that I cannot soak my lid in water because we need to make sure that the cord is not going to be affected by washing it, right? So I'm going to wipe it with a cloth later. All right, washing my hands of the crab, the raw crab meat. All right, now, step number 3, return the pulse bread crumbs into the food processor. So here's the fresh breadcrumbs. I'm gonna put them all in. Uh-oh, making a mess over here. And you know what I might do? I might move my ingredients here for a sec. And because I always start with a clean counter, I'll be able to scrape that right in, and Thor might even get some breadcrumbs on the floor. Oh well. All right, now it says to pulse it all together. Now, I actually took all of my stuff out, and it's gonna be probably a little pointless to get it all in there, so I'm gonna be like you guys if you don't have a food processor, and I'm gonna mix it all with my spoon, just like this, grabbing lots of it all over the sides. This is a lot of fun, just making sure that it's all nice. Oh my goodness, these crab cakes are gonna be so good. So good, so good. All right, look at that, wow. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next step. I'm gonna split the mixture into 2 patty shapes, and I'm gonna dip the patties into the dried breadcrumbs. So I'm gonna need to put my dried breadcrumbs, wherever those are, my dried breadcrumbs, into a bowl. Now that I've done that, it's time to get my fingers nice and messy. But if you don't like the feel of the crab meat on your hands, then what you can do is you can put it in a baggie, pour some breadcrumbs in it, shake the baggie around, and voila, you have your patty, okay? But I'm gonna dig in here with my hands. Oh yeah. I've always got clean hands when I'm cooking. And look at that, it's a patty shape. I'm just gonna drop that right in there. I'm gonna shake it around a little bit. And I'm gonna reach in, I'm gonna flip it over. I'm gonna shake it around, or you can just simply pour the excess breadcrumbs on. And I'll put that actually right onto my chopping board. Boom, and that is ready for the pan. All right, now I'm gonna take the next one. This patty might be bigger. Make sure to try and evenly distribute it. You might even be able to make 3 smaller patties if you want, but I'm gonna try and make 1 small and 1 big because it's like, okay, here we go, Saul. All right, so making sure that it's nice and on the bottom of the bowl, shaking it around a little bit. The dog's staring at me, he really wants a taste. Sorry, buddy, not for dogs. This crab cake is going in this belly. Okay, now that I've done that, making a mess, I'm gonna give my hands a quick wash. Okay, now on to the last step, adding some olive oil into the frying pan and setting the heat to medium. So I'm going to do that right now. We have olive oil in our container. Let's do it. I want to try and drip the olive oil so that it's all over the place. Now the great thing about olive oil is it doesn't run as fast as water, so you can hold the pan all the way around except for upside down and it will stay in there. Now time to set my stove to medium. There we go. So mine goes from 1 to 7. So around between 4 and 5 is usually the best place for medium. All right, everyone. The stove is getting nice and hot. If I just do a quick hand test, nowhere near the bottom of the pan, but just waving my hand over, it's getting pretty hot. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna take my lifter and I'm gonna add these crab cakes, if I can get my lifter underneath it, to the pan with the olive oil, and we're gonna be cooking those for 3 minutes per side. So I'm gonna set a timer on my stove here. Let me see, where's the timer button? Yep, there we go. Okay, so finally I figured out how to work my own oven. Oh, okay, it's time to stop. Okay. Whew, timer even shocked my dog. Okay, now it's time to flip these bad boys. And then we're gonna have it cook for 3 minutes on the other side. And this is starting to get under my nerves. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, Thor is just interested. He's just going, oh daddy, I want a taste of that. I'm so sorry, not for dogs, Thor. We're gonna place another 3-minute timer though, how about that? 3 minutes. I got it for the first try this time. Oh my goodness. Take your plate Look how wonderful those are looking. Don't forget to turn your stove off. Once it's in the off position, take that pan, place those crab cakes onto the plate. Oh my goodness. Don't forget to leave the pan on the stove to make sure that it's not going to burn anything until it cools down. Look at those crab cakes. Aren't they delicious? Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place these into the microwave to keep them warm until we have that potato salad ready. All right, team, we are done the coconut crab cakes, and those came out very well. Now we're going on to the potato salad. Let me read you the ingredient list. So we're gonna need 2 cooked potatoes, 1 hard-boiled egg, 1 green onion, 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, and 1 strip of cooked bacon. I might even use 2. Yes! We're also gonna need a chopping board, a sharp knife, a mixing bowl, measuring cups, spoon, and scissors. Let's get started on the potato salad. So we're gonna take our potatoes, oops, that's the bacon. Okay, we're gonna take our potatoes, we're gonna place them onto the board here. We're gonna put the baggie off to the side. I'll probably reuse that. We're gonna chop now using our sharp knife into small, I would say quarters, but I'd say maybe even smaller than that. Okay, and make sure to keep your fingers safe. So I'd recommend pinching and then cutting between the fingers, just like that. My dog is very interested right now. He just wants a taste so bad. Once the potatoes are done, you can slide them into that mixing bowl. Let's get to work. Fantastic. Let's move on to shelling and slicing the egg. So we have to shell the egg first. So I've got my egg here. This is the cooked egg. I find the best way to shell the egg, because we're at home, is when we have running water on top of it. So I'm going to put on the water just a little bit. Then I'm going to crack my egg all over, just down a line in the egg. I'm going to crack, 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 crack. Put it under the water, and I'm just going to peel very gently off, and when it's running under the water, it makes a huge difference. The egg shell is just sliding right off, just like this. And would you look at that? Perfectly-ish shelled egg-ish. I'm going to now chop that into smaller chunks. So again, I cut those potatoes into eighths, so into 8 different pieces, and I think I'm going to be doing the exact same thing with this egg. I don't know how much smaller I could chop it, so I'm going to do my best to chop it nice and small. Oh my goodness, it's already smelling good. I might sneak a little taste. Good protein for you kids. I'm going to use my apron now. All right, now on to finally chopping the green onion. So we're going to remove the roots first, right? We know that. Whoop, there we go. Now that the roots are gone, we can now finally chop it. So we want to just put on some nice Italian cooking music and just slice away. Sinatra, no? Frank Sinatra. There we go. Now very careful of my fingers all the time. All right, now that that's done, I'm gonna be using my scissors to cut the bacon into small pieces and then add that to the bowl. See that? I'm gonna take my bacon and I should probably grab my scissors. Whoop, there we go, I got my scissors. And chop, chop. I'm just turning the bacon a little bit every time I chop, just to make sure that the pieces of bacon are not gonna be too big, because I wouldn't want chunks of bacon, I would want bits of bacon. Bits of bacon get all over the place. That way, not a single place in the salad is gonna be without bacon. Salad with bacon? Oh yeah, if there's no bacon in it, it's basically not a salad. You're welcome, parents. Right, my dog is desperately looking around for any scraps that are falling on the floor, and I'm just saying, nope, not for you. Almost done chopping this bacon up. Making sure I'm being very careful of my fingers, of course. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna get that bag over with my others, and after I'm done the bacon, add the mayonnaise and stir the ingredients until they are well combined. So I'm gonna grab my mayo. I believe the recipe calls for 1/4 cup, and in fact, it does. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna pour my mayonnaise. I might just trust Tracy on this one. Yeah, I did that before I dirtied. I might just trust Tracy on this one. This container fits perfectly into the 1/4 cup, and it's full. So I think I'm gonna just scoop that into the bowl. I think we can trust our fearless leader, don't you? So we're gonna, here we go. And now that that's done, I'm gonna mix it all up. See that? I'm gonna mix it all up, make sure the mayonnaise gets all over, make sure the egg is distributed and the green onion and all the stuff that we need. Oh yeah. This is sweet. Oh my goodness, how good does this look? Oh my goodness. Okay, lastly, we've got to take the crab cakes out of the microwave because they've been cooling down. Ooh, that microwave's pretty hot. Now, I'm going to move those patties over slightly so that I can now cascade the salad onto the plate. How satisfying is that? And the best part of cooking at home, you can taste test everything. Friends, that looks like a complete plate to me, doesn't it? To you? I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna maybe try and get Tracy to do the next one, and maybe she can send it to me for editing. Not sure how we're gonna do this, but until next time, there is your crab cakes with potato salad to make the complete plate for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed cooking at home. And parents, don't forget to pair it with a nice beverage. Oh, I mean this one. Okay. Bye-bye for now. Now parents, it's time for your cooking class. Let's do this.